Hi guys, welcome to my channel. We are talking all about Huda beauty products today. I've got the primer, the foundation and the Desert Dusk eyeshadow palette to talk about. We're starting with the demo and I'll be back to share my thoughts. I started by priming my eyelids with the Urban Decay Primer Potion in Eden, as I normally do. And I'm going to start with this color here, Eden, as my transition color. Then I'm moving on to the color Blazing. I'm taking a flatter brush and I'm moving to the color Saffron. I'm using that color Blood Moon. And then I'm going to Retrograde. For the lower lash, I'm taking Blazing. Under the brow bone, I'm going with Desert Sand. For the inner corner, I'm going with the Nefertiti. And I'm just patting a little bit of glitter on top, just in the middle. And this is the final look with mascara, eyelashes and eyeliner. Let's start with the primer. The primer retails for $35 US. It's made in Italy and you get 1 fluid ounces, 30 ml of product. And I don't have the full bottle here. I just got this sample here for the foundation and the primer. It looks like that, obviously, you know, the tube, it's in a plastic tube. I don't mind it. I like primers in a tube. I prefer them actually from like glass bottles and stuff, so it's more travel friendly. Armed with rosehip oil known for hydration and dimethicone for smoothing imperfections, the powder finish formula grips makeup in place and controls oil through the day. And you can feel that rosehip oil that she said. So it is like a moisturizer, but it's kind of like oily moisturizer, if you know what I mean. And you can see here that it leaves a bit of a glow, a bit of a residue, some sort of tackiness, if you will. It's nice on the skin, obviously, if you have dry skin like I have, or maybe combo. I'm not quite sure how this primer is gonna perform to oily skin. You can feel the scent. It's kind of like floral, but not extremely annoying to me. But if you're sensitive to scents, bear that in mind. So it goes on smoothly like a moisturizer, like an oil-based moisturizer, and it leaves some sort of tackiness. It's not, as you see from my hand, it's a little bit tacky. I personally really like the primer, but bear in mind if you have oily skin, I'm not quite sure how that will perform. And if you're sensitive to scents, because you can smell that primer, but after a while it disappears. It has that sticky, tacky consistency, so the foundation will last longer with this primer. Now let's go to the foundation. The foundation comes in 30 shades, which is pretty good for a brand launching a new foundation. Of course, we've seen Rihanna with Fenty in the 40 shades, which that was amazing, but 30 shades, not that bad, considering like major brands like, you know, Chanel and whatnot, they release like 4 or 5 shades. I mean, that's ridiculous, right? Packaging looks like this and it's plastic. I actually had the feel of the packaging because a friend of mine has it and it looked very, very cheap to me. Like, you know, not like in a glass bottle, like a plastic kind of like drugstore chemist foundation, if you will. So I didn't like that, and the bottle is quite like it because it's square, it's quite bulky to travel. It does have a pump, so that's good. It retails for $40. It's made in Italy. You get 1.18 fluid ounces, 35 ml, which is a little bit more than the standard foundations. Usually you get 30 ml, 1 fluid ounces, besides the Charlotte Tilbury Light Wonder foundation that you get 40 ml. In the same packet with the primer, I got 4 shades of the foundation, which is really good. And here on the back, there are all the 30 shades of the foundation. You see we have lighter, for lighter skin, for medium skin, maybe for tan skin, and we have for the deeper skin too, which is really good. I use today the shade Maccaroon 230N for neutral, and I think it's a very good match for my skin. Fauxfilter foundation, a creamy high coverage foundation packed with ultra refined pigments for a buildable medium to full coverage finish. Effortlessly camouflages imperfection and pigmentation with a seamless powdery effect for a flawless selfie ready look. Here, it's a thick consistency, more like a cream, and look at the coverage, like seriously. Right? The packaging looked a little bit cheap. The consistency is very thick, as I showed you on my hand, and you need to probably work really quickly with this foundation, not do half of your face and wait or do something else and then try to blend, because that won't work. For me, it applies better with a beauty blender if you want to have a little bit more natural finish, if you will, natural, because with this foundation the finish is not natural, so bear that in mind. I agree, it's medium to full coverage, it's very thick. I would compare it in the category with the Estee Lauder Double Wear. It doesn't have the same finish, but bear that in mind. If you want something, a foundation that it's light and looks like skin, stay away from this. This is medium to full coverage foundation, and when you wear it, it does look like you're wearing foundation. When you finish like blending, it's just have that tacky feeling again, and it just feels like it's pulling your face kind of and lifting your face, if you know what I mean. It's very strange, but I don't mind it. You need to set it with a powder for sure. This foundation doesn't dry powdery or matte, no way, not like the Estee Lauder Double Wear. I mean, I wear it for 10 hours, it lasts fine. It didn't crease for me, or it didn't separate. They promote it as that when you wear it you look like you have one of these Instagram filters. I don't know about that, because to me it looks pretty good, but it doesn't disguise everything, if you know what I mean. And by everything I mean, it's not that you look like you have totally a filter, unless you're 12. But all in all, it looks good. I like it. It does last a long time. You need to work with it pretty quick, otherwise it's not very easy to blend. It's great coverage, it lasts a long time, it's not that bad accentuating the fine lines, it gives you a smooth finish, but you need to set it with a powder. And I really love, I don't know, I kind of love that lifting effect that it's got. If you like a light coverage foundation or a tinted moisturizer or no makeup, don't buy this and think that it's gonna do that, because this is medium to full coverage. I explained it's kind of like the Estee Lauder Double Wear, kind of like those foundations. Now the Desert Dusk palette. The packaging looks like that, purple, and it's beautiful, has Huda's name. On the back it's writing the ingredients and how much you get. And you get 0.89 ounces, 24.2 grams, and it retails for $65. And it's made in Italy. Now the palette looks like that. Of course you have Huda's beautiful eyes with that jewel on top. You get a big huge mirror here, and also you get a sleeve that has Huda's eyes, which is a very nice touch I found to the palette. I'm gonna swatch them for you. Now we've got Desert Sun, Musk, Eden, and Amber, and all these are matte. Now we have Blood Moon, and that is the pressed pearl. Here we have Out, and this is matte. Here we have Celestial, and this is the duochrome, if you see. And here we have Nefertiti, and this is the pressed pearl, again like the blood moon. Now we have Twilight, which is duochrome, Amethyst, which is a matte. We have Royal, which is one of the pressed pearls, and Retrograde, which is a duochrome again. The duochromes, they meant to wear as a toppers, like I did. I wore that obviously on top. These are beautiful colors. This one here, the Amethyst, it doesn't blend as well as the others. A little bit patchy. Now we have Cashmere, which is a pearl, Angelic, a pearl. We have the Glitter Cosmo, and this is the Turkish Delight, a pearl. We have Saffron, and we have Blazing. We have 8 mattes, which is these two, this one here, all that row besides that and that. And then you have the pressed pearls, which is that one here. You have these two and that one. You have the duochromes, the 3 duochromes, which is that, this one and that. I've tried the previous palette of Huda Beauty, the Rose Gold Texture palette, and I wasn't extremely impressed. I didn't really like the textured eyeshadows, and the mattes didn't perform 100% for me. I like this eyeshadow palette. I think the mattes perform really well, much better than a previous formula, besides this purple here. I mean, it's not bad, but it needs a little bit built up, and it can get a little bit patchy, if you will. The pressed eyeshadows, extremely beautiful, and you have the pigmentation there. I mean, you can barely touch the pressed eyeshadows, the pressed pearls, and it's like foiled. Now, the duochromes, they perform really well. For those, I will recommend them to use them on top of other eyeshadows, or to apply like something like a glitter glue if you want the full effect. But because they're toppers, they don't have that extreme pigmentation as the pearls, which I don't mind, and they performed really well. You can see the shift of the colors, and I really like the glitter. It's like a full-on pressed glitter. Basically, it's not foiled. It's just a normal glitter. It definitely requires glitter glue if you wear it on its own. It does pack a punch, but if you don't want that intense look, I would suggest to do your eye makeup and then use a little bit your finger or a flat brush, if you will, if you don't want to use your finger, and just pat it just a little bit dry, like I did today. Now, I'm not quite sure how that will travel, because I mean, it is a pressed glitter and it might crumble, so bear that in mind too. I do like that you get the mirror here. The packaging, of course, it's really good. It has a magnetic closure. It's cardboard, like a step higher than the previous palette. I like that the names of the eyeshadows are there. I did like that sleeve too, so I'm gonna keep that. And the colors are beautiful. Obviously, you get warm tones, you know, major, you get cool tones too, and you get a lot of matte shades. Now, there is fallout, but not as much fallout as I saw, you know, some other videos. I didn't experience that, so I'm not quite sure if there's an inconsistency, or some other people, they do go in and grind the eyeshadows, but I haven't experienced extremely fallout. I mean, there is some, because you get a glitter there, and some, you know, duochromes and foiled eyeshadows, it's gonna have some sort of fallout, but nothing major for me. All in all, I really love this palette, and I will highly recommend it. You get a ton of eyeshadows, you get different finishes, you get the glitter, the packaging is beautiful, you get a big mirror, and I mean, you can create several looks. You get warm tones, of course, but you get cool tones here, so you can combine your looks. And all in all, it's beautiful. So I do get the desert vibe out of it. If you're thinking buying this or the rose gold texture, buy this one. Huda Beauty says that it's a cruelty-free brand, but I don't know how I feel about that, because they do have like mink lashes. So I'm not quite sure how a company says that it's cruelty-free and then they have like an animal-derived product, even if the animal is not harmed, if you know what I mean. Some people, they say, no, it's a faux mink lashes, but some people, they say, no, it's real mink lashes. So I'm not quite sure where do I stand there. So bear that in mind if that's important to you. That's all guys for today. Thank you so much for watching. Please leave me a comment below and let me know what you think, how you feel about these products. And have a fantastic day, evening, night, time, whatever you do, wherever you are. I love you lots. Mwah. Bye.